7 days felt like 30, and I still find myself craving the glassy gravel on 22nd Street, where the street cleaners don't show face. 7 a.m. as I boarded the train to Union Station with my bags in hand. Out of the corner of my peripheral vision, I saw the faint but familiar flannel pattern so often worn by my cousin Andrew, Andres Gonzalez, named after my father. 7 a.m. the hour the shelter releases everyone onto the streets until they can return at 4 p.m. I realized it was him. I'm frozen in my footsteps, plastering myself against the plexiglass doors of the subway. I stood still and prayed to God that I would be invisible to him. The day we fought felt like 3 days. It felt like continuous vomiting, like I'm spending too much money just to protect my own safety, like, will I have to call the cops and do they come to this neighborhood because no one else does? And I'm terrified. 3 days felt like the first time I had wished death upon a human being. I truly imagined him overdosed or comatose on the side of the street. Nobody would give a damn, and his death would slip beneath our memories like the dirt beneath our fingernails. Ugly, bacteria, unwanted, and only satisfied when it is gone. I remember when he visited us when I was an infant and he was a young boy. I fell in love with him. There's an old photograph of me resting my head against his chest. We sent him back home with soap because his parents were drug addicts and he didn't have any. We could have raised him and he could have been my brother, and his blue eyes would be blue like jazz, blue like ambition, blue like I'm going to be somebody. I'm named after Andy Gonzalez. I'm going to be a pilot. Blue like I'm going to be a teacher, not blue like essay. Strap on your blue bandana because you're part of the Carneles. Blue like MA, sanctifying, the unifying color of every Hispanic gang in South Central Los Angeles. 29 years old, fuck a bitch tattooed on his shaved head. No pennies to his name, but the $200 in food stamps he receives monthly. He will not mourn the death of my grandmother when she dies. He will never appreciate her or understand the divinity of the matriarch. No respeto por las mujeres. He has cursed her name and raised his voice at her. She has been afraid of him in her own home. Yet she raised him from infancy, while his mother was on the streets of East Los jabbing needles in her arms, and his father soon followed to pick up the same habit. I am afraid for the day when she dies and he walks to her house to collect her belongings, as he said he will, to sell them. And the only way I can synthesize feeling more at peace would be a flippant portrayal of justice so ugly I cannot even say